All right. Hey, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto. Hold on, I think I got you on mute. Salaki. 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 You got to take yourself off mute. Yep. Shalom, first and
Oh
foremost.
yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead, Khan.
Shalom, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Chakwadash. And double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe it on the gospel. And this is a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad, and as always, we got the beloved Elder Taza Pai as well. And the Wadi Bashim Awashai for another opportunity to come and bring forth news, to prophesy, and further speak the downfall of Babylon the Great, you know.
Uh,
But before we hop into it, Elder Taza Pai, if you have anything, the floor is yours.
no, I don't have anything at the moment. You
Khan,
good? And shalom to the Akyam and the Akwat.
Shalom, Shalom. Hey, but like Habakkuk, the second chapter says, we often get at the end of the show, speak and not lie. And we see a lot of things happening. So we'll start with this because every week, every Thursday, which again, we just bring out a few earthquakes that happen. Certain earthquakes. There's earthquakes that's happening right now, whether it's a small magnitude or on a high scale earthquake. These things are happening still according to prophecy at the end of the day. The Lord ain't just, going to use Esau, or just animals as far as judgment against Esau, or the people of the earth, but he also going to use his creation, the earth. The earth going to fight back too, man. That's why we going to see a lot of as what people think natural disasters. So I read this real quick. May 21st, 2025, it says from End Time Headlines. Strong magnitude 4.2 earthquake rattles Big Island of Hawaii. It says on Tuesday morning, a magnitude 4.2 earthquake occurred just offshore of the Big Island of Hawaii. However, other officials indicated that no tsunamis were anticipated as a result of this seismic event. But remember, we coming into the times, matter of fact, I get a scripture, this second Esdras, and that's why when even though these governments try to push peace, that everything will get better, whether it's through a NWO, a digital system, or just help with FEMA. We know things supposed to get bad. If they tell you, look, jobs going up, we know things ain't supposed to get better according to the scriptures, according to prophecy. Let me get this real quick. This second Ezra chapter 16, and I'm going to start at verse 37. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. A lot of things are about to happen. We're at the end of the world. And according to prophecy, even Yahweh prophesied about it. He said that the Lord was going to shorten the time, not hold it back or slow down. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compares her womb. Which pains, when a child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Now I'm sure it's brothers out there who seen a birth of their children, you seen your woman, going through those labor pains, those contractions, or sisters probably went through that experience. Towards the end of that child coming closer, those contractions got closer and it was more painful. Well, the Lord gave that example because he said in verse 39, even so, well, in the same way, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So we will come into the time to like the biggest event that happened worldwide so far or lately have been CV 2019, 2020. But we come into the things that multiple events will be taking place at once in the same month, in the same week. And it says, I read 40 and we can move on unless you have some as well. But verse 40 says, and O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims on earth. And that's why the Lord said first, hear my word. So we heard what's coming. Now we can prepare ourselves, make ourselves ready for the battle. But did you have anything else, Taza Pie?
no, you good, brother.
Con, I go to this next one. This
All
end
right.
time headlines, just to follow on the same lines of the Lord using the earth. And if a brother can, I don't know if a brother did, that Isaiah 29.
I can
Uh,
grab it. You want to read it?
Con, I read the quick headline and then you got it.
All
This
right.
end time headlines from May 17th. It says destructive tornadoes tear across the Midwest, leaving fatalities across Missouri and Kentucky. You got it. We'll read a little bit into it.
Okay, come. Hang on a second.
Con, I'll show some images. Oh, and just let me know when you find it. But just to add on, and I know often the Lord have us mention this almost weekly, that these events, although the fires may haven't hit your city, the hurricane may haven't hit your town, you know, the whatever it is may haven't came near the state that you in. But remember, these are all American people, and now these are people who not used to being displaced, homeless, suffering, and the government ain't helping. And you see how it's happening on the West Coast is the fires. Many people out of there looking for help. On the southeast Florida, what that was,
You
with the
talking about the
floods.
Carolina,
Yep,
North
Carolinas.
Carolina? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
part of Kentucky.
And look, Kentucky just got hit with the tornado. So the
Right,
Lord
then they
is
just got backdoored. Right, right. Because of that, the minerals. And what people don't understand, or what they may not know, is that everything that we've been bringing out in prophecy through the spirit of prophecy, which is the testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, everything that the spirit has been revealing through this brother and myself is coming to pass. We just in that time, you know. And this ain't to big us up, but I'm saying, we're in that time, and you should be listening to the prophets. You know, you should be listening to. I'm gonna go ahead and bring. I was debating if I was gonna bring this out, but I'm gonna go ahead and read this right quick, and then I'm gonna go back to Isaiah 29. Uh, here in Ezekiel,
you got it.
right here. All right, this is Ezekiel's, and this is chapter 7. We started at verse 25. It says, "Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor." There's a lot of rumors right now going around. You know, rumors of war, rumors of political things. You know, this or that. You got whistleblowers coming out. Is he telling the truth? Is he lying? You don't know. Rumors. You know, rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and the counsel from the ancients. You know, and that's going to be in these times just like this. When the chaos, the confusion, the judgment comes, y'all going to be seeking a vision then. You're going to want a word from the prophets, you know. But yeah, what people don't know is that, well, like we've been saying, Trump has been selling this shit, you know. And that's one thing you can pull up. You don't have to right now. We can get your story out. But Acre Trader, which I did the lesson on, all right. A lot of the farmland that the feds then seized, they're gonna give it to the South Africans. You see, going into what the priest was just going into, and how that people are being uprooted from their roots, from what they've called home their whole lives, and that their parents and grandparents have called home, that they're being displaced. And that also, and I get the documentation, but whether war is real, And this is why I come out and say every week, it's on. This is it. Esau said, and I'm tending to believe him, he said it might be isolated pockets where you see boots in the street, but that's not how they're going to do it. And why would they? Why would it be boots in the street, people dragging people out, and, them risk everybody coming against them when they got these silent weapons for quiet wars? Why wouldn't they deploy these quiet weapons for silent wars, or silent weapons for a quiet war? Well, that's exactly what they would do. Use and do. You know, to create these fires and things. Using HARP to create these mega storms. These ain't just regular natural storms. These are mega storms. And then they double down, just like with Harvey. These hurricanes and these tornadoes are taking unnatural paths. Harvey made landfall, went back to the sea, and then made landfall again. Harvey made landfall twice back in 2017. And that's what made the flooding so bad. But yeah, and just imagine. But it is documentation saying that they would use weather as a weapon, and this is what they're doing. Then what you gonna do? You ain't got a house. You ain't all them guns you had. You might have got one on you, but then the rest of them underwater or blown away somewhere. That's what I'm saying. Well, as the scriptures say, store up your treasures in heaven where they are sure. Our treasure is sure. Thief can't steal it. Wind can't blow it away. Water can't sink it. It's sure. But Trump he's selling America. Well, at least I said that. America's being sold wholesale, and that's why Trump is in the office. What is Trump known for? He's a real estate man. He's a real estate man, a salesman. So what better guy to put in office to mitigate the collapse of America and piecemeal this shit out? China, y'all can get this land right here. I think they got most of the Midwest. I don't know. But they're giving these South Africaners land, and the actual people who built this country and settled this land, or who ancestors have settled this land, are being uprooted and misplaced. And then the thing is, this is what that whole the roundup is about, because they're saying that there's no habeas corpus, there's no due process. They just snatch up a northern kingdom and then put them in detention to send them overseas, without any court process. And people have given testimonies that they've been detained by ICE, that there are citizens who have been detained by ICE. These citizens themselves giving their testimony. Mm-hmm. Now they just got caught up and detained by ICE. But right, Trump this is it. America is done. And the next thing to come, they're gonna chip you if you stupid enough to let them do it. They're gonna chip you, and that's what I've been saying, because Esau is making it known that he's global. There's no more borders. They can pick you up here in Texas and take your ass to Venezuela. They can take you from Venezuela, bring you over here to do, they're going to have work labor camps and all of that. And the Noahide laws are still in effect. Well, coming into that, that's going to be a part of the draconian measures. We're going to get that. But I just wanted to say that I didn't mean to be long-winded. There's a lot going on. When I say it's a lot going on, this is why I really don't just unpack because you'll be going forever. This man is doing too much. He's doing the most, man. He really doing the most. But yeah, what you wanted, Isaiah 29:6. I think that was it in Ezekiel.
Con.
Yeah, that was the point.
But
You
now you
had
got
something?
shit. Matter of fact, I'll read a little bit into this article, then we could get that Isaiah 29:6, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Con. And then we can move on after that. But this end time headlines again, May 17th, and everything Elder Tazapah just said, man, spot on. Spot on. It says destructive tornadoes tear across Midwest, leaving fatalities across Missouri and Kentucky. A destructive tornado tore through the St. Louis metropolitan area, leaving a trail of devastation. And it goes on. So I'm gonna go to this. And I just typed in on Google, as you've been running through some pictures. And AI overview, it says so far at least 27 people died as a result of the severe storms and tornadoes that struck Missouri and Kentucky in late May 2025. But I got this from ChatGPT. Now it's on my phone, so I'm gonna read it. And the question I asked was, what exact date did the tornadoes hit Missouri and Kentucky? And it gave me this. It says May 16th through 18th. That's when it hit. So far, what they found, 27 people have died. And again, if not just, fatalities, think about all the people who are out of a house, out of a car, out of means to live. Now they
Right.
depending on the government. Now at any time, they're going to be willing and ready for that handout. Looking, and that's how Esau want to get the people. See, when the scriptures say he calls of all, ain't just gonna be he gotta force you as far as put you under a guillotine. Ain't the only way. No, he
That's
gonna
the
set
only way. That's
Mhm.
right. Yeah, you got it, brother. Go ahead.
God, he gonna set up a system around you to where you gonna need him. And matter of fact, is an example of that in Genesis with our forefather Joseph. When that famine hit Egypt, he gathered the Lord had him, of course, by the dreams, but gathered all the food. But the people started coming to him. And they said, "Look, man, we out of food." They gave up their cattle, and they was like, "Look, we'll give y'all our cattle for some food." Think about it. They going to the government. Joseph was in second command. So they said, "Look, man."
Oh,
So after that second, they said, "Look, man, we gave you our cattle." I think they said, "We'll give you our lands, man. We'll give you the land and whatever else we got." So Joseph said, "All right." And they went to the government. Last, it said they gave up themselves. What's the modern way of giving up yourself? Putting your hand on that table and you getting that seat here, man. This is gonna be the last test of giving up yourself just for government assistance. And a lot of people right now who haven't, served the Lord, don't know about Yahweh Bashim Shai. Now they're gonna have to trust in physical things. See, they is not the
yeah.
Lord have mercy on who he wants to, but we in the times to where physical things will be taken away, or if they're given, it's gonna be given in moderation by the government. But the Lord gonna bless those who believe in those spiritual happenings, so to speak. Man, you was about to say something?
No, I was agreeing. Calm, calm.
But now
Yeah.
that was pretty much it. And it also said, so I was reading in one town, they said right here, 6 tornadoes happened just on May 19th.
Hmm.
6 of them in Missouri counties. So the law about to get busy, ain't no telling what's gonna happen next. But that was it on that.
Yeah, ain't no telling with Esau, you
Mhm.
know. All right, Con. This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire.
Yeah, you got it if you want to speak on it.
Oh yeah, yeah, the Most High. He gonna pull out all the stops. Um, anything that any way you can imagine a man can die, it's gonna be going down. But right, he's gonna use the earthquakes. He's gonna use the hurricanes, the tornadoes. That's what a tempest is. You know, It- it- well, in other scriptures it talks about the teeth of beasts. To tear and all of that. These are the times that we're in. This is the power that's getting ready to show out. You know, it's. I don't know. But the scriptures say, through the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. I don't know if you ain't, seeing what's going on in the world, and you ain't fearing the Lord now. Shit, when he get through working, you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I see enough just right now. I see judgment every day. I know the Most High putting in that work little by little, but it's, it's coming a time the floodgates are going to be wide open on death and judgment. Instead of the death angel like went through Egypt, it's going through all the earth. But it's gonna mainly be Egypt this time, the spiritual Egypt. Spiritual Egypt is gonna get it the worst, meaning America, but it's gonna be death all over the world. You know, the Most High is gonna get His glory. So you got it.
Kind of got a quick one. Zephaniah 3 and 5. It says, "The just Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth
Yep,
not."
yep,
And
yep.
we see, and that's the thing. And what you said, well, let's go hit on the next verse a little. We see the Lord judging. We see things every day. Like even if we don't see a major judgment, we might be saying in a store, and it may be somebody that's jacked up. We'll think like, damn man, I wonder what they did for the Lord to do that. Just some crazy. We just see that the Lord working all things, man. The Lord ain't nobody to play with.
Yeah,
But as he doing the daily judgments, people. I'm gonna finish it. It says, "Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame." It says, "But the wicked know no
yep.
shame."
That's
In other
hey,
words, they don't
Con,
recognize.
Con. You got
Nah, kind. They don't recognize it.
they
They
don't
don't. They
have
don't
no
think what
shame.
they're doing is wrong. So, like, you got it.
Yeah, no, that was it. I was just agreeing.
They don't think what they doing is wrong, or they really just don't care. So, as now going back to what you were saying too, now the Lord gonna have to turn it up just a notch. Then he gonna have to turn it up some more. Since this ain't enough, he got to show him what's enough. Smoking Mom on Friday when she gave him that dollar, he like, this ain't enough. Shit, like, make it enough. The Lord gonna make it enough for him, man. He gonna make these people bow down. That's the times we coming in.
Man, Con.
It's saying Sirach 36, and we can move on. But Sirach 36, it says that in the end, the Lord is going to show new signs and make other strange wonders. So things people been used to, just another pan, DEMIC, or another sickness, or another juice, another hurricane, another tornado, another school shooting. See, people been used to the everyday little things the Lord been doing,
Yeah,
but He
yeah.
turn it up to strange events, man. Strange, we at the end of the movie. That the most action-packed part of every movie to end. But I'm gonna read this real quick. You had something before we move on?
Oh, yeah, yeah, on that back in Isaiah 29:6, where it speaks about, because I didn't explain that, the flame of devouring fire, that's ultimately coming from the missiles, the intercontinental, well, the thermonuclear fight, all right, from thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles to whatever, even like the lasers are going to cause, be burning people up from the chariots. And then Esau, Most High, on the right and the left. He hitting with the right and the left. And you know, he ain't gonna miss.
Mm-hmm.
If he don't catch you with the left, he gonna damn sure get you with the right. So yeah, yeah, that it fires, man. Devouring fire. But you got it out.
Kind of, I read a couple off the comment board real quick. The brother Yahweh, and Shalom, to all who tuning in to y'all, brother
Shalom.
Shabrak thumb. But Proverbs 28 and 5, it says, "Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh understand all things." That's exactly what you were saying, but in a precept form. You know
Yep,
how
yep,
you
yep.
see these things daily. But it says Psalms 9 and 16 again, the Lord will make himself known. It says, "The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth." and the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgion Selah.
Yeah, that's some fire right there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's some good ones.
I wish we had the little, like
Good
I see the little song boy.
ones. Man, yeah, them was hitting hard right there.
God. But we can hit this real quick. And all these articles too, because we ain't gonna hit everything, but all these articles in the description box as well if you want to read all of them, but or all of it. But this from End Time Headlines as well. It says the WHO or World Health Organization adopts pandemic treaty, expanding its power over disease management worldwide. Now, we'll read these things. It don't say much. Now, reading through it, you may catch other things well in there. But I just want to read this part right here because we know when the CV came around, it was mainly the WHO and the UN having all nations push their people to get that thing, man.
Mm,
Putting on. Well, look, him right here putting on the mask.
yeah.
They what's his name? Yeah, I don't know his name, but they the ones who was pushing people. So now
I
they have.
forget his name, but they saw him at he fruity. He fruity, huh?
See, I ain't know that.
Yeah, it's a clip of him. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna see if I can find it and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at some club, man, looking real sugary.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna find that and send it to you.
Con. But I just want to read this little part because remember they was pushing that juice, but now it says, matter of fact, I'll start here. The World Health Assembly, the WHA, the governing body of the World Health Organization, WHO, composed of its member states, formally adopted the long debated Demic Agreement on Tuesday. So it just happened. It says, according to Breitbart, this international legal framework is designed to bolster global cooperation. And I thought of Revelation 3 and 10. Now, again, it ain't just hitting on the MOTB, but remember, things have to be set up first.
Right.
And that MOTB it will be used for a form of healthcare. That's gonna be a big part of it, man. But it says, and let's read. It says this international legal framework is designed to bolster global cooperation in endemic preparedness and response by committing signatory nations to share medical technologies, enhance juice initiatives, and prioritize equitable healthcare distribution. Now, the thing is, even if it's because you could read it and it sound like, oh, they go share equipment. They go no. Again, remember everything becoming or is going advanced. With the robots coming in, so on and so forth. But it's about to be even the medical system. Man, I seen a video the other day. It was a woman in the hospital, and she had on camera her doctor or the nurse or whatever who was supposed to be helping her. She was on Chat GPT.
Yeah,
You seen that?
yeah. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She was on Chat GPT looking up.
Before that, they was Googling shit, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now they got the chat GPT. No, you good. Go ahead.
And two, what Elon Musk have been pushing. In years, we ain't gonna need no people to do nothing. No, we got robots, warehouse jobs, brain surgeons. We got everything covered. So the point is, seeing this about to be a global thing next, and what they telling you also is it's about to be another demic soon. I ain't saying soon. I don't know how long, but they preparing for someone. When the nation's prepared, they telling you something coming, man. It
Yep.
always happens, just like they do with the simulations, and then it'll happen years later. But that's all I wanted to read from that. But there is a global cooperation, sharing medical technologies, enhancing juices, and so on and so forth. But that was it on that. And it's the last thing, and we could pretty much, end it. Let me see. I was reading that. We ain't got to get that. But so I know Apostle Tahar touched on this last thing we'll mention right here. Now his video, and this in the chat as well, it was 3 days ago. The title of and his page is "What is the 666 mark to GMS Truth?" And the title of his video is "We got a madman on our hands, the Hunger Games, and the purge will become a reality in America?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. You know, now the information that he was talking about is I'll read a little bit of this article and we'll just play the video. But this from End Time Headlines as well. May 16, it says Trump officials in talks. And you know why this too? It's funny, Elder Tyler Park, because you had sent this to me. Well, Apostle Tahar video, you sent it to me a couple of days ago. But remember, you mentioned this a couple live shows ago. You said
Right.
the time's gonna come, and that's why I was laughing when you said it, because you said this was, I don't know if it was weeks or months ago, but you was like, the time's gonna come when these elites, they probably setting up because they want to create a real life what's
Yeah,
the
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games? What's the other one?
Yeah, I forget that other one on Netflix. Uh,
Squid Games.
that's it.
Squid
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah, I said it a couple of times, but yeah, it was about maybe 2 weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I sent it to you. I couldn't believe they were putting it out there like that. But it seems they putting it out there, you know, for what is for clemency or citizenship.
Yep, citizenship.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying, you know. If if you ain't listening to the prophets, I ain't talking about us, I'm talking about any of the men of GMS. If you're not listening to GMS, the Lord don't love you. That's my new saying right there. And you ain't listening to GMS, the Lord don't love you.
Like that shit.
Shit, you finna play it?
Yeah, I'll play that video.
All right.
But this, and if I can mention, we'll play the video, and you know we could just get a couple precepts. And I know the apostle he pulled one that cruel Lord. But this could open up a whole door to a lot of stuff though, you know, because like you mentioned earlier, they not only grabbing up so-called immigrants, but a couple of people, it's been reported that they actual citizens and they've been grabbed up.
That's right.
They've been grabbed up. And you know what's crazy? It ain't just that they sending them to Venezuela or back to their home country. They might already be starting this little, what they talking about? The Squid
They
Game.
could be doing that. Yep. Ain't no
Already.
telling, bro. And that's the scary part. It ain't no telling. They could ship you off anywhere now. Nobody signed off on this shit. Nobody agreed to it. But through complacency, they just shipping people off. And then, you know, shit, who, can't nobody keep tabs, you know? They could be doing anything to these people in ICE, or these secret locations. Who knows? They got tunnels everywhere. It look like you go on the ice and then you end up in a black site somewhere,
Man.
being waterboarded. Man, we don't know, you know? But yeah, brother, go ahead, play that piece.
God, let's get it. So this from Ones That Can See. It says Donald Trump and the government are considering making a real life Hunger Games reality TV show. Hold on, I think I got to turn it up.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
All right, cool. Got it.
We've got Ones That Can See. Welcome, everybody, to today's show. If you haven't heard this story about the Trump administration and the Department of Homeland Security, well, you're really missing out, because we are living in a time period where our government has gotten so out of control, whether it's the Democrats in power or the Republicans in power. These people continue to take, and obviously mock. Because if you haven't heard this story, the Trump administration is potentially going to have a reality show in which immigrant contestants vie for U.S. citizenship. and would be a natural extension of Trump's cruel gamification of social life. So you're literally hearing potentially a real life version of the Hunger Games playing out. Now, I've covered this recently with the Squid Game, the popular Netflix series, and how there's so many shows out there, so many movies, so many series that are literally about humans hunting humans for the most part, right? And on this show,
It's a lot of advertiser. I just want to get one precept, just one.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I might get one too. What you got?
Because he called Trump, he called him cruel. And I know, like the apostles often say,
Oh,
Trump,
yeah, brother.
we believe Trump Nero, man. And if so, Nero liked them, the games, the entertainment, so he all into that, man. And this could be another way. It don't just stop there though. This could be access if you want to get access to the 15-minute city.
And that's it.
You want to get to see him, if you want to get some food, man, they about to man, they gonna I'm gonna get it real quick. There's Isaiah chapter 19. Now the point in verse 4, but I'm gonna just get to it. It says, and the Egyptians, and it's talking about America, Revelation 11 and 8, that great city which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So that's talking about America. So this Egypt, Isaiah was well after Moses and Aaron in Egypt, and we ain't never really go back to that. So it's talking about this future Egypt. Because when you go up and talk about Yahweh Shai flying on that swift cloud into Egypt, which, well, you can say that happened too back then. But Isaiah 19 and 4, it says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord.
And that's a cut. No, you good. Go ahead.
The Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah host, man. And the way
he's showing his horns, right?
That's right.
He's showing his horns. But go ahead, make your point.
Now that's it. Now you got it if you was about to speak.
No.
Okay, kind of.
I want to hear what you had to say.
No, I was just about to say. No, I'm gonna just read it again. Isaiah 19 and 4, it says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah host. So this may be what we seeing, man. And now people starting to see Trump for who he is. Remember, he ain't first term Trump no more. He's second term Trump. He the other card from the Illuminati game.
And I forgot where I heard it from. I'm gonna go back and check my source. But they said that Trump is in the Talmud. He's into the Talmud. So he's all about the whole small hat. He's all in. That's his mentor. I believe his mentor was a small hat. So that's what all that's about. And they say that Netanyahu is his that's his overlord. That's his master, his boss. Is Netanyahu. That's why you saw him pull the chair out. Yeah, you do that for your lord, your boss. I put a post on my page with Trump pulling the chair out, and next to a picture with Darth Vader and Palpatine, and that would just kind of through the spirit. But shit, that might be the whole situation. That might be the situation. But let's think about citizenship. What the fuck is that? If citizens is not getting any benefits from the government, what really are they fighting for? And I'm just digging into the shit. Citizenship, I have citizenship and it ain't doing me a bit of good. That's the buzzword, because you hit it right on the head. What's gonna be next? That's the door. Citizenship. That word is the door to people to say, "Oh, it's okay, it's cool," and then it'll be forced. It won't be voluntary, it'll be mandatory, and then it'll be for your basic human rights. It'll become Hunger Games for you just to eat or whatever. You know, there it is, Vader and Palpatine. And it looked just like him. Trump, he walk around like if he had on the cape and you would think that was Vader. He wore the helmet, you would think that was Vader, Darth Vader. And this old frail, that's the Emperor, Palpatine. Well, I'm a Star Wars man. Y'all might not know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the movie Star Wars. Well, of course, Darth Vader, but you know, Darth Vader was representing that male phallic, that black phallic energy. That's what he was representing. That's why the helmet was like the mushroom, you know. And that movie is heavily coded, but yeah, that shit is gonna lead to it's. I'm telling you, that's gonna be the wave of the future. If to the Lord come get us up out of here, man. Because they moving fast and Trump is moving fast. But yeah, why would you want citizenship and y'all coming over here illegal, getting everything anyway? So why would you want citizenship? Y'all getting treated as illegals better than us as quote unquote citizens. So what is it really about? And then, you know, but anyway, I'm gonna bring this out. You have something?
La, you got it.
Okay, this is St. John chapter 17, verse 15. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from evil. And that's the them is the elect, you know, coming into these times, because you mentioned a while ago, you mentioned Revelation 3 and 10, and that time is coming, you know, with Revelation chapter 3, verse 10 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. So again, this is to the elect. Because ain't nobody keeping the word of the Most High's patience except the elect. So it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. All right. The hour of your trying, your testing. All right. Your proving. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right. So that temptation is going to be whatever's in your spirit that you didn't work on, or in your soul that you didn't work on, and that you knew you were supposed to be working on that shit. It might be a bitch for a lot of men. I shouldn't speak like that. It may be a woman, you know. You just think you just have to have, and she want that chip. She still want to get them goodies and them benefits. So what you gonna do? Get the chip, because this temptation is tied to the mark of the beast, which is the chip.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a micro one, but a chip nonetheless. And yeah, the elect are gonna keep the Most High, keep the word of His patience. Right? This world tries us every day, so the hour of temptation is, you know, is going to be. It's gonna hit us too, but it ain't gonna hit us like it's gonna hit y'all, because we've been walking in faith. Well, I ain't saying y'all watching, but the world, the 2/3. So don't, Salakia, it ain't gonna hit us like it's gonna hit the 2/3, because again, they've been dwelling in the flesh. And what does the scripture say? The just shall live by his faith. In Habakkuk 2 and 4. The just shall live by his faith. That's how we're gonna live. You gotta live like that now so you can live later. You can get through this hour of temptation. You can say no to the MOTB, which is an acronym for the mark of the beast. which is a micro CHIP. So, yeah, you got it out.
Nah, that's it. We can go ahead and play this video, and
Yeah,
we can get it off, in a couple minutes. Let a couple minutes roll.
We've got ones that can see. Welcome, everybody, to today's show. If you haven't heard this story about the Trump administration and the Department of Homeland Security, well, you're really missing out, because we are living in a time period where our government has gotten so out of control, whether it's the Democrats in power or the Republicans in power. These people continue to take, and obviously mock. Because if you haven't heard this story, the Trump administration is potentially going to have a reality show in which immigrant contestants vie for U.S. citizenship, and would be a natural extension of Trump's cruel gamification of social life. So you're literally hearing potentially a real life version of the Hunger Games playing out. Now, I've covered this recently with the Squid Game, the popular Netflix series, and how there's so many shows out there, so many movies, so many series that are literally about humans hunting humans for the most part, right? And on this show, of course, well, the plot would be that illegal immigrants compete to become United States citizens. I mean, this is what our government has become, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you wondering what is the role of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, well, it's supposedly responsible for protecting the United States from various threats, including terrorism, border security, cybersecurity, and disaster response. It aims to secure the nation by addressing these issues through a variety of actions, including counterterrorism efforts, border security measures, cybersecurity initiatives, and disaster preparedness and response. So what are they busy doing? What are they busy doing on your tax money? Well, they're considering the idea of having a reality television show that, of course, would do what? Well, it would just stir more of this race war that the government has created, where they've now taken white people and turned them against black people with all of the riots that they started and were responsible for. And of course, we also know that they've been race baiting with the border when they very easily could prevent people from coming across the border, but they don't want to prevent people coming across the border until they have a digital ID in place. And then everybody will willingly go and participate in it because they've been so worked up over the last couple of years about fraudulent voting. And
see, that's how it's going to start. See, Esau made life hard for people, so they just ready and willing to come get the citizenship. It's going to start with the digital IDs. And you're going to have to compete for it, fight for it. And you know, in Squid Games, how I had them all.
Damn, bro. Back to Rome, bro. This is Rome, all over again. But go ahead.
Now, you know, Squid Games, I had them rich men behind the glass. Esau, and see, a lot of this stuff, he might get a little off the ground. He might try, but
a little bit. Right. That's why the scriptures say when he is about to fill his belly. Mm-hmm. Right. He want all of that shit. He want his entertainment to be able to pit us against each other to a dual death. And go ahead, Doc.
Now that's it.
You going with it?
Yep, that's it. That's spot on. Now that's pretty much. Hey, the law as you said. So
and illegal immigrants.
He's gonna start with stuff like this digital ID, man. He want to do that, but he ain't gonna fulfill it. He ain't really gonna get it jumping like he wanted to. But let's go ahead and play a little bit more. And if you got something to us, Elder Tyson, probably let me know.
It's coming across the border and killing white American girls. I mean, the stuff that people actually believe is unreal. Now, this story may not actually be real. It might just be out there. As we know, the news is not to notify, it is to manipulate. But just the fact that they have the gall to put a story like this out there shows you, at this point in time, the government could come out, they could taser you in the nuts, they could tell you that they're going to force vaccines into your body, and still there will be no pushback from the citizens because they have them so divided over issues like this that they will literally be more likely to go along with their government if it means that they're going against their quote unquote political opponents. But if you haven't seen These are the clips.
And the times we come in there, Esau ain't gonna care about no votes, and he gonna do what he want to do. If this was to happen, he could eventually have citizens against immigrants now. Whoever win,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, or he can easily hit him with this. See how easy it is. If you want citizenship, take the MOTB. But see, times will eventually be that hard to where people ain't gonna doubt it. That's gonna be the only way, because you know what? I ain't gonna see nothing past this world what's going on. Because every day until it actually started, it got worse.
Mm.
So they ain't gonna see nowhere out after this. See, we see past this. We know it gotta happen, and we about to live, or maybe we about to live. So we ready for all this. You know, Lord willing, as the scriptures say, you know, we able to stand against all these things that shall come to pass, man. You know, and stand before the Son of Man. Roughly paraphrasing. You know, but a lot of people, they ain't gonna see after this though. That's why they're gonna be willing to take that.
That are airing on affiliate news stations across America right now.
The Department of Homeland Security is in talks with a reality TV show producer about a game show where immigrant contestants would compete for U.S. citizenship. According to the Wall Street Journal, television producer Rob Warsoff, the man behind Duck Dynasty, says he's been pitching the idea for the show as far back as the Obama administration, but the project hasn't come together. It's unclear how far along the process is, but in a statement, a Department of Homeland Security spokesperson said the proposed show has not been approved or denied. Warsoff says the show is meant to be hopeful that the contestants would be legal immigrants and that losing would not result in deportation. According to the DHS statement, the department gets hundreds of TV show pitches every year, and they all go through a thorough vetting process.
So even if that entire thing is a work, because we know that the news is there to manipulate, it's there to condition you. The fact that we're even letting them put stories like this out there, when the government already pretty much admits that they don't work for you.
And that's exactly what you said too.
That's what I just said. Complacency, and just, you know, he's speaking about the aspect of you know, the political thing, you know, the dichotomy that this society or the government has set up, one faction against another one, you know. He's speaking to that, but you know, yeah, I'm speaking to the complacency, and people don't, you know, shit. It's like they just sheep, you know. Now we're sheep, but we have a shepherd. They don't have a shepherd. Our shepherd told us, yeah, it's gonna crash. Let it do what it do. I got y'all. You just wait on me. Preach that gospel, and that's what we do, you know. But they just out here. They, like he said, get the shot. Okay, do this. Okay, do that. Okay. And in the meantime, you know, they fighting against one another and not seeing the fact that y'all should be uniting. The government is at war with y'all. Y'all should be uniting. And that ain't even to say to take up arms, but unite, the brainstorm. You know, come up with something. But nah, that ain't, you know. Now we know why, but I'm just saying the logical thing to do for a rational thinking person would be to, you know, one, recognize, identify, look, we're being played by our very own government. Enough is enough. But, you know, shit, when you got money, you can get what you want. Rockefellers got exactly what they want through the public school system. Generation of useful idiots. But this is what we are. It's a generation of useless or useful idiots for them, useless to us. They ain't preaching it. They ain't preaching the gospel. They ain't got no type of knowledge or light. They just dead, dull, dark, you know. The Most High is doing these people a favor with these ICBMs. He really is. The people in America, the Most High is going to do y'all a favor in a little bit. Just hold on. He's going to send Jacob's trouble and 200 million nuclear warheads. That's what y'all need. Because now y'all really are just NPCs. Non-player characters. Y'all just here taking up space. Not contributing to shit. He ain't contributing to nothing. But yeah, I'm sorry. What you had?
Nah, that's it. Nah, we done. We done. We done. I
Okay.
did like one precept the brother Yahweh had, and you could take us out if you don't mind. This Job chapter 20, because it was spot on what you're gonna say. Eventually, enough go have to be enough. It's Job 20 and 22. It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits." Now, when you read this, it's going into the wicked, Esau, Edom, but what of his governments? These leaders, who planning all this, thinking that they're gonna begin a NWO, a new world order. It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits." So the Lord making it difficult on them now. You got the prophets out calling them out. You got other so-called whistleblowers who do these videos like this dude, which like on the Yashawama said, this dude be on everything. He might be an agent. you know. But you got Natalie and Clayton and Natalie at Redacted. Everybody so talking
Yeah,
about
I was rocking with Mike. I don't really fuck with Mike no more.
and I
Pardon
mean
my French. I don't really, yeah, Mike, he done tripped out, but he was one. Of course, Alex Jones, but yeah, he got to be an agent. But I think he said he got an uncle or somebody. That I might be tripping, but somebody in his family is CIA, and that's how he be getting the intel. And he knows CIA people, so that's how he get the intel. But you're right. We get these whistleblowers. What's that? Psalm 64 and 8.
I got you.
Okay, come on. We bring that out right quick, and then we get out of here. But that's what's going on. I keep hijacking the brother's thoughts.
Now you good.
Salakia.
The spirit, you good.
But yeah, you got it.
Yep. Psalms chapter 64 verse 8, it says, "So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves." Come on, man.
Oh shit.
It says, Psalms chapter 64 and 8, "So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away."
Right. They tongue snitching on them, their own tongue. That means, their own people that are privy or got inside information on the secret, sneaky shit that they doing behind the scenes that they never disclose to the public. These people that are privy to these events or goings on, they come out and expose it for whatever reason. It could be, guilty conscience. It could be get back. It could be a number of reasons, but that's what they're saying, that these insiders will be coming out, blowing the whistle on some shit that they ain't got no business doing, on some wickedness that these elite got going on behind closed doors. And the scriptures say, they say, "Who seeth us?" Yeah, the Most High. He seeth you. And he got your people telling on you. And then now he got us telling on you, because the Most High secrets belonging to his servants, the prophets. So, yeah, even what the whistleblowers may not know, we'll know. You speak on that a lot. But yeah, but that was it. That was it.
Khan, that's pretty much it. I finished this Job 20:22. "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly." So when he think he go do things like the Squid Games, it says the Most High shall cast his fury upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So it's gonna come crashing down. But that was it, Other Times Paul. You could take us out.
That's it. That's it. And the water. Oh, put my video up there. Y'all check it out if you haven't. It's in our, oh shoot, our general chat on the WhatsApp.
I got you.
The one with the acre trader, because we didn't go into it. So if you haven't seen this video, the brother gonna post it. Check that out. It's dealing with acre trader and the land, this farmland that's being given to these Edomites coming over here from South Africa. and it just goes into it. It's a little bit on it, and I'm gonna go. I'll probably go more in depth. I don't know, but yeah, I had mentioned it, and we didn't go into it. So check the video out. It's not on my regular page. It's on my other page, I believe. Yeah. And that's it. You had anything else, Hack?
I'm looking for it right now. That's it. I think I found it.
Yeah, it's in the extra chat. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I threw it in there.
But yeah, all right, Con. So with that, we pray that you all were edified. You know, all praises, honor, and glory goes unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. No honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Y'all stay up, stay circumspect, and to the next one, Shalom.
Shalom. And what other ties apart talking about, I'm about to throw it in the comment section, and I'm gonna put it in the description box. So just kind of refresh your page in about 5 minutes. You know, it should be there. But hey, Shalom.
Oh, okay, Khan, Shalom.